Alright, for once today, I'm going to show you something outside of fruit tree farming. So I'm actually on the poorest soil on site. It's actually even worse than another video I made about the poorest soil we had. This is really compacted. Do you see? We're in April, there should have been grass everywhere around here. It's so compacted that the grass just doesn't grow. So behind me there, I have a syntropic nest. I'll show you. So you can see this one actually has an olive in it. Just recycling some of the olive trees we had left from planting this year. And you can see really it's important in this soil when we have this. You can already see the cracks forming and how infertile the soil is. There's no topsoil whatsoever. Even on the entire property we don't really have topsoil apart from a few places that have maybe 2 centimeters of topsoil. But here this is definitely just pure clay. A lot of cal in there, a lot of lime. And yeah, you can see the way to go about this and to reforest such areas, I find, is really to use the method of the syntropic nest or syntropic lines. But here, for ornamental reasons, it made much more sense to plant nests. Actually, this is a school, forest school. And actually we planted this with my colleague because his son goes to school here, and we just wanted to make everything look much nicer. So we just stacked it up with plenty of plants that we know are drought resistant, we know are going to build soil. For example, here we have Artemisia, we have Colutea arborea here, makes beautiful yellow flowers. We also have the madronium, the strawberry tree that is a native here. I don't know how it's going to thrive here because the soil is really poor. It needs a little bit higher fertility. But yeah, well, we got lavender, we got boldo, and we planted about 25 of these nests. And really, right now, it looks pretty underwhelming. I know, there's not much going on. But in a few years from now, we'll be very happy to have planted these trees and these plants together. Because we had some other plants that were planted on their own that didn't do so well. Like this false pepper tree actually was already planted at this height more than 2 years ago. And while it's doing fine, it's really a tough plant, but other trees are not doing so good. Look at this bottle brush that's flowering there on its own. This apricot looks like it's about to die. Look how bad it is. This one's been planted 3 years ago. And pomegranates doing surprisingly well in such soil. Obviously we amended the soil, but also what we did in around such plants is we also added more compost and added different plants like higher succession, like for example the Celtis. Even though it's higher succession, it can handle really poor soil from the beginning. It's just going to be super slow in it. But yeah, we have other bushes like the Colutea here, and amongst other things, Peter's bottom here as well. But yeah, definitely we're on a very poor soil. Look at this Casuarina. Looks really not nice, yellow leaves. Definitely the soil is not adapted to grow many things. You can definitely see how unfertile the soil is by just adding a bit of compost around, and you can see all the grasses popping up. And then there's these places where there's none. The grass is trying to colonize, but it's just way too compacted for that. So truly we need to go with the syntropic approach here. We need to use other plants that we know are going to build soil. Because if we don't, we're going to have to add biomass all the time, and the biomass alone is not going to fix that problem. We need root exudates in the ground. So, for example, here we're growing a mulberry, so the kids can have some fruit. You have acacia here to produce root exudates and biomass, as much as the eucalyptus, the Italian buckthorn, the boldo again, lavender, strawberry tree, tamarix, colutea. And yeah, we've done that everywhere, and we've added irrigation. Obviously, we really needed that in such climate, especially in the soil. But yeah, you see all these nests here and there. We added wood chip from our olive prunings that we had flail mowed. These nests were planted about 2 months ago, and yeah, they look pretty underwhelming. But yes, I'm going to give you a little update on this after summer, and you're going to see that these nests are going to be completely full. And that's super important. And really, not only do we need to add a good amount of compost in here, we also need the plants to do the work. We need the plants to use that compost. If we don't have that, there's just compost sitting in there for nothing. So that's really what's important. Compost on its own is not going to solve the problem here. We need root exudates. We need plants that are going to use up that compost to allow higher succession to come. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. So really important, such soils, don't ever plant a tree on its own. Even a fast growing tree is going to be struggling. Even if you add loads of water, you need fertility, you need root exudates. And truly, you're going to see results that are beyond what you can imagine when you use syntropic agroforestry for such degraded soils. I've really seen that in many places where I've planted, and how the soil has gotten much better, and how certain trees are much higher succession managed to really make it well because of these other plants that paved the way for them. So really, don't be afraid to overplant. You can see in these nests there's like 8 different plants. Don't be afraid about that. Don't be afraid of putting too many of them. Put a lot of them by cutting. Put succulent plants. Put plants that just are going to thrive in these conditions and are going to grow fast. And some of the plants are going to die. Just plant as many plants as you can. Have all these pioneering plants, all these placenta plants, Mediterranean herbs, artemisias, lavenders, rosemary, all of these, boldo, all of these can really make a difference for the development of your trees and the development of your soil, so it gets much better over time. So hope you learned something valuable from this, and I'll see you in the next.